Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back today, man. We got to watch Mojo of 10 most evil people in history that you probably didn't know. I wonder is it... you got 10. Remember I was watching that one series that was talking about all the evil people? Yeah, you do. No. It's on Tubi or something like that.
Tubi?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely don't remember.
It was a TV series. You quit acting like you don't watch. You watch.
No, I'm saying I didn't know you.
Side of Tubi.
No, I'm saying I didn't even know you be on Tubi watching. So that's
I was the one who created the count. So
you did. But
so
I
I
don't
can
know.
keep my shows in order.
Okay, I don't know what you was watching.
Oh, do I even still got Tubi? I used to have it on my phone. Let's see.
Was it like a documentary or something?
Yeah, it's a show, but it gives like the history, like like all the. You got this.
Is it something like I'm a Monster or something?
Something like no. No, it's literally like the most evil people like in impact. You got all this stuff in here that I create your own account. I don't know if this.
You're so extra.
That's mess.
You can go down to my stuff if you like added it to the.
I didn't add it. It's part of my watch history, but you don't use my account and messed up my watch recommendations and stuff. The whole shenanigan shit. But no, it's just got a history of like some of the most bizarre cases and evil people in the world. It had like the couple that we heard about that one time. Mm-hmm. Then it had like Dahmer. It had the dude from the UK. It had Ted on it. It had a bunch of different people though. But there's a lot that happened in the UK that nobody ever talks about, man. But hey, with that being said, before we get into it, make sure you check out the links in the description box.
Down below.
You already know where to go if you want to first support. All you got to do is check out down below. Also, if you enjoyed today's visuals,
lock it in with a thumbs up.
Let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about. Let's see if we know any of these people that they think we probably didn't know. Let's go.
Well, I mean, it takes a certain kind of ruthlessness to take this kind of action, to take the law into one's own hands.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're looking at some of the most insidious people in history whose crimes have been relatively overlooked until now.
No one knows for sure what creates a man like Gilles, but there are plenty of possibilities.
Fritz Haarmann. Known to many as the Wolfman, Fritz Haarmann terrorized the citizens of Hanover, Germany between 1918 and 1924. He targeted male youths, strangling them and biting into their Adam's apple. His feral spree continued on until remains were discovered in 1924. Haarmann was found guilty of 24 murders, although the actual number is thought to be higher, and was sentenced to death. While infamous at the time, both he and his dark legacy have been lost to time, although his head was preserved for years at a medical school.
Wer weiß denn, wie sie mir aussieht, wie es schreit und brüllt da innen, wie ich tun muss.
This man really, she said he bit at Adam's apples?
That's what she said. I want to put, like, what possessed you to do some crazy stuff like that? That definitely is like, What did y'all find? What what y'all studying? I guess his brain or something.
You remember they was trying to do Dahmer's?
Yeah, I want to know what y'all found. Did y'all find?
I don't think they ever got it. Did they ever get his brain? Like even Dahmer's? I don't even think they. I think it was a conflict with the parents.
Evil. Yeah.
I think one parent was for it and one parent was like, nah.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Bathory.
Do you happen to remember her name?
The Countess Elizabeth Bathory.
But that's my name, you must be joking.
Though her guilt is now contested by many, her influence on horror certainly isn't. A noblewoman in 16th and 17th century Hungary, Bathory had a grotesque reputation. For 20 years, beginning in 1590, she allegedly tortured and killed hundreds, supposedly often bathing in their blood to prolong her own youth.
In a macabre prologue to the fictitious Count Dracula from nearby Transylvania, the Countess drank her victim's blood.
By the time she and her accomplices were caught, over 300 people had come forward claiming to have seen proof of her violence. While she served as an inspiration for writers and artists throughout history, her actual life has taken a backseat to the rumors created about her. However, the accusations surrounding her have been questioned by some historians.
She was just carrying out and inflicting these horrendous injuries out of pleasure.
Daria Nikolaevna Saltykova.
I wonder, did she possibly bathe in her blood thinking she was gonna keep her young and all this? And
That's what she said.
But no,
Bathory is known as the Bloody Countess, but she isn't the only one who deserves that title. On the surface, Daria Nikolaevna Saltykova appeared to simply be a Russian woman of nobility. However, beneath the luxurious veneer lay something much darker. Throughout her reign in the 1700s, she was behind the torture and deaths of at least 36 serfs. The victims were often beaten to death, and if anyone came forward, they were likely to be punished. Her brutality was allowed to continue until 1762, when Catherine the Great finally had her publicly tried and imprisoned for life. Despite the extent of her crimes, she remains primarily known in Russia and is essentially unknown to the rest of the world. Yang Xinhai, in just 4 years, he became one of the most prolific serial killers of the 21st century, with 67 confessed murders. From 1999 to 2003, Yang Xinhai traveled across China, leaving a trail of carnage in his wake.
我们永远不能再见面了。我曾经许诺过你，只有死亡能把我们分开。可惜我食言了。也许早一点遇到你，一切都会不一样。 你说闭上眼睛就可以忘记现实。
He would arrive at a village and break into his victims' homes, killing those inside before fleeing. His bloodlust soon earned him the moniker Monster Killer. He was eventually detained during a routine investigation in 2003, where his depraved actions were eventually found out. His crimes are akin to those committed by infamous American murderers, but unlike them, his homicides have been largely ignored by the Western media, causing them to fall by the wayside. Belle Gunness.
Belle's treachery would go much further. It would rank among the most grisly crimes in Indiana's history.
Gunness is credited with killing at least 14 people before dying, or perhaps faking her own death to avoid exposure. After a fire at her farm in 1908, the bodies of her 3 children and also a headless woman who may have been Gunness were found. However, there were significant physical differences between the woman's body and Gunness. The aftermath of the fire uncovered a deep rabbit hole of carefully concealed slayings that had taken place across several years.
Belle Gunness allegedly lured men to her LaPorte farm via newspaper ads. They were never heard from again.
Many of her victims were her husbands or men lured to her home as potential husbands. Her likely victims list also includes several infants, proving that her cruelty knew no bounds.
Number 9, Harry Robinson.
I've heard of her before. Have you?
Yeah, we did a.
But I don't think the details that she covered was previously in the same details that the other one we seen before.
The only details I do remember is with the ads and the paper and stuff, because she used to put ads like for people to come and do work on her farm, and like men used to answer to it, and then they'll get their work, whatever. But yeah, that was the only thing I've heard.
Only thing I was just saying was I feel like I heard a little bit more details, like more in depth with like the crimes and stuff like that.
Javed Iqbal. Discovering a crime firsthand is traumatic on its own, but having the details laid out can be just as stomach-churning. In 1999, officials in Pakistan received a confession from Javed Iqbal, admitting to the sexual assault and murder of 100 underage males. He included lurid details and even left evidence behind, proving how meticulously he'd planned everything. His motive? His mother died from a heart attack following another violation he'd committed, making him want to bring 100 mothers to tears as well. A film about about him and his misdeeds was finally approved for release in 2023, but even that hasn't stopped him from remaining unknown to the greater population. Gilles de Rais.
These are terrible crimes. Would we classify him as a psychopath today?
The FBI and the specialists say yes. Serial killer, organized psychopath.
His association with both the 100 Years' War and Joan of Arc both are not enough to conceal the dark legacy he left behind. Though Gilles de Rais left an indelible mark on the battlefield, his true impact lies within his personal life. Beginning in the 1430s, he began to slip into darker interests, from attempting to summon demons to murder. He was finally able to stand trial in 1440, where he was found guilty of slaying 140 youths before meeting his own death by hanging.
Gilles could kill kids at will. But it was only when he offended the church that he was investigated and his hideous crimes uncovered.
De Rais' service to the French army in no way compensates for his later depraved activities.
Jeanne, that is not 10,000 reinforcements! That is 100 very loyal but very tight soldiers!
Delphine LaLaurie.
The only word that comes to mind is a sadist. A sadist derives pleasure from inflicting pain on another individual.
You may recognize the name thanks to Kathy Bates' interpretation of her in American Horror Story, but even that only scratched the surface of her wicked atrocities. Following her third marriage in 1825, Delphine LaLaurie began to act on some of her darker desires.
Should I run and find a doctor?
No, I can handle this. You go on downstairs and cook up that chicken.
Deep within her New Orleans home, she had a room dedicated to the torture of those she enslaved. Her cruelty was extreme even for the time period, with the law even stepping in to free 9 people from her hold. Despite her open secret, it wasn't until a disastrous fire in 1834 that several battered enslaved people were discovered. Though elements of her depravity have been showcased, the true extent of her hatred remains unknown.
A lot of people died at that house, and it's, theorized that it was at the hands of Madame LaLaurie.
Ilse Koch.
Did you know about her?
I've heard her name before.
I never heard of her. Damn. That's crazy. Oh, history books ain't got it. But also, I'm very conflicted with, should we know about these people or we should just let it die? You know what I'm saying? Because I always say, we constantly, talk about these people, keep reminding everyone of these people and the horrible crimes that they have done. It's sometimes it intrigues younger people or these new age criminals, and they get so thrill-seeking of what they did, and they want to go out here and do it as well. But because we never let their not legacy, but we never let what they did die, but we allowed the victims to die. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We don't keep reminding people of the victims they had. We just keep reminding people of the criminals and the acts that they made, and we forget about the victims, but we never forget about the people who did these horrible crimes. Mm-hmm. And why do we? It's we glorify them. I'm nah, let's stop talking about these people, even modern day criminals and stuff. We constantly keep talking about Ted, Jeffrey, and all these other people. F them. There's not many stories about the victims, and that's the only reason why I did like the Dahmer series is because it did shed light on the victims, and we was able to get a little bit more backstories on the victims, so they don't get forgot about. But say for instance, it's a plethora of, we don't know the victims. Only people that know them are the family, and the more you keep bringing up these people who took them, the more they keep having to, So,
theorized that it was at the hands of Madame LaLaurie.
Ilse Koch.
Ilse wasn't content with the daily physical and mental abuse she dished out to prisoners. Her bullying took a much darker twist.
You don't get a nickname like the Witch of Buchenwald without earning it. Though she often goes unnoticed among some of the more prominent names within the Nazi Party, she is remembered for her sheer cruelty. She was heavily entrenched within the hateful movement, even getting married at a concentration camp. She had no qualms about violence, ranging from assault to aiding in the beatings carried out by soldiers. She was even accused of targeting prisoners with tattoos, supposedly so she could fashion macabre lampshades.
Ilse used this study to create one of the most enduring and revolting works of the Third Reich. She began using prisoners' skin to make lampshades and book covers.
She was eventually convicted and imprisoned before taking her own life in 1967. While she isn't as notorious, she is proof that even non-officials were swept up in the hatred of the time period. Before we continue...
You know how sick you gotta be to say, hey, I want to help, like, and then not even just help kill, help do all that. You want to skin them and use their skin where the tattoos were to be able to. So you got lamps and shit, and somebody, oh, I like that lamp. Can you make me one?
And book covers, like the little.
Nah, that's sick. That's sick. You know how thin you have to cut that? That's sick, bro. Just to imagine.
You go into your settings and switch on notifications.
That's
Shiro Ishii.
The existence of Unit 731 was only acknowledged in 2002. It was the brainchild of General Ishii.
With all of the horrors committed throughout World War II, one of the worst perpetrators managed to evade both legal and cultural consequences. Shiro Ishii was one of the masterminds and main directors of Unit 731, which used human beings as guinea pigs in the development of biological and chemical weapons.
何らかの形の実験的なものにしろ、細菌戦をやったというのは、事実ではないかというふうに私は思っています。
His vile experiments, using everything from plagues to sexually transmitted diseases, constitute some of the worst war crimes of the period. Following the end of the war, he and his team were given immunity by the United States in exchange for their research. His lack of punishment has meant that few have heard of his name.
To collect accurate data, we're dependent on continuous experimentation. So all the Maruta that we use, not only do they have to be alive, but they have to be fit and in good general condition.
Which villainous historical figure are you surprised doesn't get talked about more? Let us know in the comments below. Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo.
You know why they probably didn't. I don't even want to speak on it. Can't convince someone for doing the same shit you do, right? Or supposedly did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those the rumors. Those are the rumors.
That was crazy.
I thought that was the one of the general who like held captive of like the one we did where he was eating her. I thought that was gonna be him, but it's not. Oh Lord. Some of them people just. I think I only heard of one. Other than that, I ain't heard none of those. You heard more than one, though.
Yeah. Like two, I guess. Two.
More than me.
The two women, yeah.
Yeah. But hey, man, y'all spam us up in the comments. Y'all let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comment section down below. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is
Sierra Nicole.
We are
Kid and C.
We are.
Time to kick it, got a stack of flip for my foes. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar, 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 dollar. Let me watch out for my pocket.